Welcome to another episode. Today I'm with Tunde, an Erasmus scholar, and on this episode we're going to focus on Erasmus or Erasmus Scholarship. What is it all about? Who can apply? Who qualifies? How to apply? The benefits and all of that. Hey, Tunde, how are you today?
Yeah, hi Mike. Nice to talk to you and thank you for bringing me here.
If someone hears Erasmus, what are they supposed to know? What is it all about?
Erasmus Mundus Joint Master's Degree Scholarship is a 2 year integrated master's program
Okay.
which are taught by higher educational institutions across the EU.
Okay.
And it is usually designed and delivered by a consortium of at least 3 universities. And
Okay.
it's usually across 3 different countries.
And do these universities have to be in the same country or different countries?
From the experience so far, it's usually different countries because that is still part of the aim of the Erasmus scholarship.
Okay.
Because you want students to be able to travel all over Europe and experience diverse universities.
I've heard people who also did the Erasmus between Europe and South America, Argentina precisely. Does this also cover that, or do you have to study just within Europe, or there are partner universities outside Europe?
I think in some program there are some kind of flexibility
Okay.
that you can maybe do your thesis outside, but usually the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree tries as much as possible to limit students to studying in EU states.
In EU states?
Yeah, because according to the scholarship, there are some laws that you can spend more than a certain period of time outside the EU.
Okay. What is really the concept behind Erasmus?
I think one of the major concepts is the fact that the EU wants to bring global talents from all over the world.
Okay.
Because they tend to award the scholarship to bright students from different parts of the country, and also you get to study with people from different places, which I also think is a good aspect.
Great. Tell us a bit about yourself. Who are you? Where do you come from? Let the people know you.
Yeah, so my name is Tunde, and my background is in chemical engineering.
Okay.
By profession, I'm a process engineer. I come from Nigeria, to be precise, and I studied Bachelor of Chemical Engineering from the Federal University of Technology, Minna.
How did you hear about Erasmus? What year did you hear about it? And tell us your story. How did it all happen?
I did my bachelor's in 2018
Okay.
in chemical engineering, and I heard about this scholarship while I was serving in Lagos State.
Okay.
Because I had some friends also at my place of work which were also applying for this same scholarship.
Yeah.
And basically I applied for this scholarship in March 2020.
Okay.
And I think in April I got the award of the scholarship. In September I moved to Europe to start my program.
Okay. How did you hear about it precisely, and then how did you apply? Who told you?
Yeah, to be precise, I think I saw it on LinkedIn, if I remember correctly.
Just like that?
Yeah, it was on LinkedIn. The Erasmus program is very diverse. There are a lot of programs on the Erasmus, but this particular program that I got to know, I saw it on LinkedIn. And I just tried to check it out, try to read more about the Erasmus program.
Okay.
And that was,
You applied in March, and then you were awarded the scholarship in April.
Yeah.
How did you apply exactly? Can you give us the breakdown of the process?
I think currently there are about 190 programs.
180 programs.
190 actually.
90?
Yeah.
Okay.
Under the Erasmus Mundus scheme. And basically what you have to do is to filter based on your field of study and also your interest, of course.
Okay.
And you can select some programs that you think you are best fits and you have interest in.
Okay.
And what you have to do is to apply for the specific program, because each program has their own application procedure and requirements.
But generally, are there some basic requirements that applies to all the programs? Well, what are the minimum requirements?
Major eligibility is that you must have completed your bachelor's degree. But also, there are some other requirements that you have to fulfill while submitting your application. So, for example, you must be able to provide a proof of recognition, such as your international passport,
Okay,
which
fair
shows
enough.
where you're from.
Yeah.
You must provide your CV,
Yep.
which is for the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. The Europass format is the required
Okay.
format for this. You must provide your bachelor's degree certificate and transcript. In some cases, if you're still in your final year, you can also provide some letter from your university stating that you're going to complete it before the start of the Erasmus program.
Okay.
And also, you must provide a proof of residence. So, this proof of residence is not something very common, but it's just a proof that you reside in a particular country.
So proof of residence in your home country.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And there are different ways in which you can meet this proof of residence. For example, you can tell your current employer to write a letter for you stating that you work here and you live in so place. Or also you can get an affidavit from the court.
Okay.
That you live in so address,
Yeah.
and also can get some kind of state residence certificate. For example, in my own case, I was living in Lagos, so I got this LASRA certificate from Lagos State Residence Authority, and that was what I used. And also, you must be able to prove that you have sufficient knowledge of English language.
Okay, English language proficiency is a prerequisite.
Yeah, because all the Erasmus programs are taught in English, and so they want to be sure that you have good proficiency of English, and you can meet this via, for example, some programs accept you to provide just a letter from your past university stating that you studied in English. But some programs want you to write standardized English tests such as IELTS.
So I guess it depends on your precise program.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. You applied in March and then you got it in April. That was really fast. How did that happen and why did that happen?
So you get this application window that you have to apply.
Okay.
So if I remember correctly, for my program, it was between, I think, September until March, early March. And for me, I think I submitted my application towards
the deadline.
Of this, so that was the reason why I applied in March. And usually, when you apply after the deadline, the committee of the Erasmus program that you're applying to come together to make a selection of which students they want to award the scholarship. And in some cases, some programs conduct interviews. For example, in my own program, no interviews were held. So it was strictly based on your motivation letter, your past degree, and everything that you'll be awarded the scholarship. So I think in my own case, this was why it was a little bit faster compared to some other programs.
And see that the higher grades you have, then the better your chances, or grade does not really play like a major role?
To be honest, I think that it is important, but of course I've seen people with 2-2 that won Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. So I wouldn't say that anyone should be discouraged because they don't have a first class.
That's true.
If you have a first class, of course it gives you better chances, but it is not a barrier to you winning the scholarship.
Anyway, guys, if you're watching or listening to this from wherever, we have some articles already written about Erasmus Mundus Scholarship. Also, actually, even a very recent one that you can find all the relevant links, the link to the catalogs, where and how you can apply, make your selection of the different programs, see the precise requirement, and you can of course connect to people who already applied for this Erasmus, scholarship, people who are talking about it. So feel free to check the description wherever you're watching this from or listening to it. You will find the relevant links. Is this scholarship open to people from all over the world or set in just some parts of the world?
The Erasmus Mundus Scholarship is actually open to everybody all over the world.
Okay.
Either from any part of the world, including even students from the EU.
I see.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's open to everybody and anybody can apply.
Is there a particular number that is fixed per study per program that okay, hey, we are taking only 30 candidates this year, 50? Do you know this?
Yes, it is not usually fixed, but the program is sponsored, so it's usually based on the funding that is available for the program. But from my experience, usually each program tends to award around 25 students per year.
Okay.
But also, what I've also noticed is that in some of this Erasmus Masters program, you can also get tuition waiver. So sometimes they allow you to come study on free tuition, but you have to take care of your expenses.
Okay.
That's if they cannot offer you the fully funded scholarship. In cases the program is not able to award everybody that apply to the program, so maybe they award 25 students fully funded, and
I think I've heard this before.
they give the opportunity to, let's say, 20 more people for tuition waiver opportunity, which to me actually is also a nice opportunity, because Erasmus Mundus Masters program tuition are very expensive.
If you had to pay the tuition, right?
It's always about 9,000 euros per year, which is a lot of money.
So you guys don't study in like the tuition-free universities, for example, those tuition-free universities in Germany or in Austria or wherever. So you don't study there?
Yeah, we study in some tuition-free universities, but the Erasmus Mundus program, I kind of have extra components, I would say, which I think it makes it a bit more expensive. Sometimes it's also possible that you are studying in some countries that are really expensive. I think another reason why it's expensive this way is because during these 2 years, you have to be enrolled in all these 3 universities
at the same time. Okay.
So this is the reason. At every point, the program, part of the 9,000 goes to this different university, and so that's why the tuition is a bit expensive.
I would like you to walk us through the different countries that you studied and the precise program that you also studied in these universities.
I studied the CRM program, and I started off in Belgium.
In Belgium?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which was my first university. I had 1 semester there.
Which year was this?
That was September 2020 until January 2021.
Okay.
I was in Belgium. Then afterwards, I moved to Sweden for another 1 semester, which was from February until July. And afterwards, I had my internship in Germany.
I see.
I did my 3rd semester in Germany. In April, I started my master thesis, so that's April 2022.
Here in Germany?
Here in Germany, I started my master thesis, and I did it for 5 months until August 2022. Then that was the end of the program.
And how was life like living in Belgium and also Sweden compared to Germany?
In Belgium and in Sweden, it's a little bit expensive, I would say.
Okay.
But coming to Germany, especially for me that I studied in the east of Germany, it's a little bit cheaper than in Sweden and in Belgium.
Yeah,
but I think every country has its own advantage and disadvantage. For example, in Sweden, I think the people were quite open, speak English a lot, and you can communicate to them in English. And in some other countries, you need to learn some basics of the local language to be able to communicate with the people.
And throughout your stay in these countries, it was the same amount of stipend that you get monthly that you were getting regardless of where you were staying?
Yeah, so regardless of where you stay, you get the same amount of monthly stipend.
So what is this Erasmus Mundus Joint Scholarship, and which are the other types that exist?
Yeah, so this Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Scholarship, they are some kind of distinctive programs that covers your scholarship for the whole 2 years.
Okay.
But there are also some form of Erasmus scholarship that you can get from some local some other universities that only cover some tuition, or
I
sometimes
see.
it's some tuition, sometimes it's some stipend, and sometimes it's not really fully funded, like the
Ah,
Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters
okay.
degree.
Can you give us an idea of what's like the monthly stipend that you get as a scholar?
What you get from this Erasmus Mundus is around 49,000 euros totally.
Okay, for
But
the 2 years.
yes, for the
Okay.
2 years. But from this, you get a monthly stipend of 1,000 euros per month.
Okay.
Yes. And in addition to this, you get what is called a traveling allowance, which is 3,000 per year. So
Okay.
in the start of the year for the 2 years, you get 3,000 euros each. And also in addition, on the commencement of the program, you get 1,000 installation cost,
Okay.
and the rest 18,000 goes towards your tuition fee, which is 9,000 each.
Ah, okay, this is paid already for
Yeah.
your tuition.
Yeah.
And can you also have a mini job while you're studying, while you're a scholar?
Yeah, so it's a fully funded scholarship to start with. So the program does not expect you to work,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
they give you they pay your tuition and give you monthly stipend,
Yeah.
which covers basically everything that you need. So they don't expect you to work, because the workload from this Erasmus program are always quite high.
Yeah.
But if you decide to work, actually, it's also possible.
Okay.
You just need to make sure that you work in accordance to the law of the country.